Yes, yes, yes. We live. It's just me. It's just going to be me. If you're on Facebook, I can't see any of your comments. But what you can do is hop on over to YouTube and catch the live there. I don't know how to view the live comments on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So YouTube would be your best bet. From right now, I can see, oh, nobody's even on. Okay, cool. For those of you who will end up seeing this in the future, which means present for you now, I appreciate you. We are kind of in a holding pattern. Educators, anyone involved in education right now is in a weird situation. What's happening is standardized testing is becoming a thing again. So even knowing that colleges are now accepting, I shared an article with my students last week from the New York Times about colleges not even looking at standardized test scores. But oh, Gloria, I missed it. But obviously there's a lot of systems are still going to run off of the same thing. So it's necessary to finish out. So end of the year, in May, we're going to have MCAS standardized testing. And what they did was they compromised with the time. So instead of a full MCAS test schedule, it's half the time. I was watching a funny, I guess it was a YouTube clip of a guy he's a YouTuber, and he was like telling everyone how education is a joke. He was saying, if you failing, if you flunking, don't feel bad. Like you're not even gonna use any of that stuff. Like he said, I went to school for 15 years. I'm a YouTuber. Nobody prepared me for that. I thought it was funny. I mean, that's not for everyone, but his comments were funny to me. With regards to education, I'll say this. As much as we like to pretend that we're so independent and strong and free thinking, the majority of us aren't. So as much as we want to pretend that we're entrepreneurs and we be using the free time wisely and for whatever, a lot of us just need to go to school and just sit down and think deeper about something. It's not that public education in and of itself is so bad. It's that it's not structured to make you a successful entrepreneur. It's structured to make you a worker. And everyone wants to jump on the entrepreneurial wave, but until you actually generate that capital, until you pay those taxes, until you do them hand to hands, yeah, it's not for everybody. It really isn't. And I get into this debate quite often about what entrepreneurial space what it actually is. I'm not talking about the front of it. I get it. Like small business runs America. Meanwhile, what we mean by small business, I don't think we have a clear agreement just yet. Small is like 500, under 500 employees. It's like, what? That's a lot. That's a lot. All right, Dr. Ann, hello. I'm just sitting here blabbing. Let me just add. Is it okay if I add you to the stream? Okay.
Almost ready to show
Dr. Ann, you are here.
I am. I made it. Myself when I'm not speaking, just because my baby boy.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, but good idea.
All right. Yes. Yes. What's up? And then what happened? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That always happens.
The whole time. So it was playtime for him. We had playtime, and then yeah, I told him I was telling Ian, I was like, "Yo, like I want to come, but I have a meeting every Monday at that same time." And so this today, that I didn't have the meeting, so I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna come through." So I was just like,
Good.
"Yeah," but
Good. Well, you're a little early for. So Ian said he's gonna come on around 5.
okay.
So
Out in I could hang out in the thing room. The
okay,
waiting.
cool. Yeah, I was just. I mean, I don't. I was just talking about education and drifted into entrepreneurial.
Well,
So
what do you think of the curriculum? Did you see it?
wait, you're the one who designed the curriculum?
Yeah, that's me. I figured you didn't
Oh,
know it was me. I figured you didn't know it was me.
I thought. Okay, I thought. Did we met at the MLK thing?
The code drive, yeah.
Okay, so right.
But a long time. But
You're two different people coming into one for me now.
oh yeah, no. Ian, that's what he does. That's what he does. He's like, no, I got somebody. Boom. You know, like that.
No,
But
I fully remembered you. I fully remembered you. And then, but when you experience someone on page, it's different, you know.
so what do you think?
I love that.
I'm like, man, I was like, I just want to know what he thinks. Like, I just want to know, like, if he likes it, like the design.
No. Way bigger than that. Like, so he didn't communicate with you.
No, he did, but it was just like the intermediary response. You know,
Got it.
Like it's his response, like it's his response, but it's not your response.
Right.
I was just like, no, I want to know, like, from somebody who wrote it as a book, and then now it's something that you want to teach to young people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a product, and you have to be able to, like, for me, I take my work very serious. You know, when people hire me to do my work, and I think about all of that. And I also have to make it engaging for the kids. You have to incorporate their life, their story, their everything, reading the story, you know? So a lot of but you still got to teach certain things. You use it to teach those things, and then it ends up working it just ends up working for all the purposes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was amazing. First, it was just trippy to experience. So some people don't know at all what we're talking about. So I wrote a couple of novels. Somehow, Dr. Ann curriculum to these novels. And when I tell you, it's not just writing curriculum, it's like the layout is beautiful, the design is beautiful, it's engaging.
Thank you.
It's obvious that she really, you got to understand, like, when you write a novel and you young and Black, you're not expecting many people to read it. You're definitely not expecting curriculum to come out of it. So just the whole experience for me was tripped out. But yeah, I thought you did a fantastic job, especially with the revisit of Strays. I'm sorry. So Wings is the most recent one that I got. But
yeah,
I'm in like contract negotiations with Wings. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but that's where I'm at. But so Strays is the most recent one that I reviewed, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. This doesn't even make sense. The way you captured the different, like, you really understood the work. Most of the people who read my novels, they're like friends of mine. So they just read it and they're like, yo, that was dope. I like how you did this. They're not really processing it like an educator to distribute the information so people can learn from it. You know what I mean? So
I mean, that's the, for me, that's just the, okay.
we was just laughing.
I know. You know how the kids go. It's 0 to 100 real quick. You be like, what happened? Like, what happened? But
it's all right.
That's the nature of it. But yeah, so yo, good.
Right?
I was waiting for the right time. I didn't want to cut you off, James, but I was just like, yo, what's good, bro? I finally could make it. I told you. As soon as I can make it, I'm making it. But
I know. Listen, you tapped in. I know if you ain't on, it's because you got son. You saving the world in another way.
crazy. It's like we've been superheroes for like a long time. You know, I just really respect like. Because where I'm at right now, just like to be transparent, like, you know, I told you, and I was like, yo, I'm ready to work for myself like now. Like, I just want to do it, you know. But the thing is, when you take that step, you have to think about income in a different way. You know, you have to manage everything that you have in a very different way. And so that's where I'm at right now. It's like, all right, you know, like trying to just map it out and be like, okay, cool, but I just do what I love. I'll never do anything I don't love. I make body butters. They sell out every time and they smell amazing. They feel amazing. Like, but I make it like I make it once in a while. I don't make it like, you know.
How do we get on the list? What do we got to do?
Oh, I got your emails. When the drop come, I got you on the email. That's it. And I'm gonna send you the pictures. I got new jars, everything. Like, it's such an experience. Like, I love it. I love being able to. I like to read. And I was laughing when you said most people that read it, they just read it. But the thing is, a lot of people don't like to read. That's why I was laughing. Like, that's why it has to look nice. That's why that's where the aesthetics come in. You know, the kids don't want to see something that doesn't get them curious or doesn't get them engaged, and they have to interact with it on paper. They have to write it down. I tell people, I say, I'm a teacher. If you do anything with the kids, you're not making them write it down, you're not winning. You didn't win because they won't remember it. They just don't have the memory. So that's why you have to talk with them. You have to have discussions with them, and really you have to use inquiry-based. You got to ask a lot of questions, inquiry-based instruction. You have to ask a lot of questions, and you have to give them what they need to know so they could show you that they know it and put in their own twist on it, put in their own experience, put in their own stories. That's why. And Ian really helped me out because I was sitting on the book, right? So I was sitting on the work, and he was just like, I told him, I said, so what are you thinking about this? Because it's client work. You can't do what you want to do when you're doing. It's like a commission. If you're an artist, you know, you have your medium, you have your colors that you like, you have things, your palette that you go to. But at the end of the day, the subject, the patron determines the subject. If I want you to paint my kids and make them happy, put them on a pony, do that, and you got to do it. So that's when you're an artist and you do commission, that's how you have to see it. You have to know that you have to serve what the person is thinking. So Ian was like, I want it to be like practical. That's like, you know, it helps the kids think through decision making things like that. I said, all right, cool. That's what I was thinking. But in business, you got to get the confirmation. You got to get the cosign or else fall flat, especially with like writing and stuff like that, you know, because you could have said, I want a curriculum, and you get in this trash and you'd be like, man, this ain't gonna work. Because it could have been the other way. Like, not for me, but you know, that's the nature of something that is subjective, but also it has to teach. It has to teach. So you have to know how to teach. You have to kind of think about the kids and think about where they are, and you have to also think about the delivery. So the feedback Ian gave was great. He was like, no, like, I need a summary of like the chapters in case somebody has to teach it and we don't read the whole thing. And I said, yeah, that's true. That's true because you know, and you don't got to read the whole book to do it. But to be in it, you got to know certain things. So it's good to have that in the beginning. So it's really a because we've been rocking since, man. Me and Ian been rocking since what, 2013 on in the bus.
SOF Brooklyn. We've been rocking since SOF Brooklyn.
I took some kids from Ian's school in Brooklyn to Martha's Vineyard. We was lit. They saw llamas. They went to the llama. Right? They seen whales at the whale. They went to the Martha's Vineyard Museum. I know the lady there, and her name is Ann too. Like, just nice people, and everybody like appreciates it. I had them having people do Soul Train on Main Street because we could do it. They did it. They did it too. Like,
hold on, Dr. Ann, because you just put a lot into a little. I just want to ask you what you had for breakfast this morning.
Who, me?
You.
Dang. I drank some water. I had to hydrate. And I actually had some soup. I ain't make it though, so you know it's low.
Oh, you on the glory diet. Okay. Water and fruit. See? Something there. Water and fruit. That's clear. That's the glory breakfast. Okay. So it's an uptown thing. Damn, I hope that's not my internet. My joint been sketchy today, though. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just mute laughing at you. That's all.
I think Dr. Ann till she come back. There we go. I try to keep an eye out. So, Ty birthday, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, man, time be flying, bro.
The big 5, you heard?
5, right? That's
Big
great.
5, you heard? Capo, you heard? Word. We had a little bus. We had a little bus pull up, a little jungle gym bus pull up yesterday. It just carved out, and it's just like a bunch of like swings and what you call it, like mats, a little tumble alley bus joint. Have them parking in the driveway. They turned up, and then cake, ice cream, the basics. And then today's our actual B-day, so we just open some presents, watching some Disney flicks. You know what I mean? And she wants salmon. She wants salmon and rice for dinner.
That's at 5 years old. I wasn't asking for salmon and rice for dinner.
That's light too. Salmon and rice, pink fish. That's light for her.
That's crazy.
What is this glory diet that you were saying? I never heard that. What is that?
That's why his skin glowing like that. And you see where his skin glowing?
You gotta be rested, okay? You gotta be out here like taking care of all the things. It's too much.
He gotta educate his fast, like cleanse, educate his cleanse. You know what I'm saying? You got to type with glory. He got the coaching cleanse, and he got the all around educated cleanse. You heard?
Yo, YB, you all right, man?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. Chilling, man. It's been I was watching the last Chance University, and it had me a little bit in my feelings. So it had me a little bit in my feelings, just a little bit.
Wait, the basketball one or the football?
The basketball one.
Okay, somebody was telling me about that the other day. They were like, "You gotta watch that." I was like, "Nah."
Yeah, it's real. It'll make you feel everything. Like as a coach, as a player, like that documentary is ill. It's ill. It's an ill docu-series. I don't want to ruin it for you, but yeah, to have me in my feels, man.
All right, I'm just checking in. You ain't say much.
Nah, I'm just here listening.
Yo, Ann, since you on, I want to ask you a question because I was getting tapped into just some Aretha Franklin over the weekend, randomly, but just tapping into her story, and as a young 12 to 11-year-old, she ended up being pregnant, and she ended up getting raped pretty much and molested by her dad took her on the road, and I don't really got the, but basically she got
it was some hot ass mess shit. Molested
and she ended up using that tragedy and turning it into triumph. But what I saw in the movie was that like that was part of people say protect Black women all the time and at all costs, but as specifically in the Black community, even for history, it hasn't been about necessarily protecting Black women, and even in our own families. Like there's a number of people in my family, women that I've known that have been have been taken advantage of by not only the Black community but their family members, right? And so I was thinking about that, just in how it, and it's like in education. I'm just thinking about like that. Like black women get preyed upon in their own families from a very historically, and now you know what I'm saying. Like now, and so education does the same thing. But how it affects black women, I think is a little bit more. It's a little bit more. Deceitful is not the word, but I think that though they may not go to jail as high as black men go to jail in school, the things that happen to black women while they're in education that go unheard are fracture them in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you gotta understand, like, it's. I'll break it down like this. There are ways of the world, right? And then there are ways of the world. As imagine like circles, okay? There's like ways of the world. Then there's ways of your country, like where you live. Then there's ways of you and your hood. Then there's ways of you and your family. And like it's all of these circles, and ultimately they collide all the time. And essentially some rules always apply. So the reason I say that is because in the circle of the world, right, women are just there to do something. Like it's not like for women to not do anything. Like that's not the norm. The norm is women do something like pretty essential. They having the kids, they cooking, they cleaning. That's what they do. Like that's just their purpose is to do that, right? Then you have, you know, it's a really enlightened place to be in to say that, you know, women are like really equal, you know, like, and not in the way of like, hey, I can go be a boxer. I personally don't want to be a boxer, sis. You can have that. Amen. Yes. Rock on. I don't want that for myself. Like that's not my thing. That's just not my thing. But at the same time, it's a difference between like kind of feeling like biologically you have to take care of things, and then that's your purpose in society. And then on top of that, you don't have a say. You don't have any like clout on par with all the things that you're supporting. So I think when it comes to women in general in society, that's where we're seeing. That's just our role. Like the role that we play in society, like we're expected to just take that, accept it, and just live with it, and that's it. You know, it's a very
What's that? What's that? Take that. Like
take the position of having to always be a caretaker, a caregiver, a problem solver, a chef, like, you know, a maid, you know, in a lot of cases. And this, I'm not talking about like anything like Rufus. I'm just talking about the ways of the world. That's the role that women play.
So, Ann, let me ask you a question.
You know?
In education, what role does a woman play in education as it's constructed right now? You know, wait a minute. Let me ask you another question. And how do you feel about the new appointee to chancellor? And did that have any change in your advantage or doesn't?
Oh, I mean, you know, I'll be very honest. I'll speak to the second question first because that one's honestly easier. I think about time. I think okay. I think it's great that it is a Black woman. I think, you know, she'll do well. However, you know, the education system is just very political, and so her role doesn't really affect the many thousands of windows that need to be changed, the ventilation systems that don't work, don't check their email, the admin that don't respond to people trying to do partnerships with schools. It's still a mess. And so, I mean, you know, it's great that she is in that position. Yes, I'm all about it, like the visibility, and I think that's important. But, you know, being and dealing with the institution continuously, it's really outdated. Y'all act like y'all need a gazillion things to fix it, and you don't. Like, you don't need a gazillion million things to fix this shit. You just need a little bit of respect for people in their roles. Black women in education are always the ones that deal with all the bad kids. And then when you deal with all the bad kids, they tell you that you're being too aggressive or you got to calm down. I'm like, but you gave me all the bad kids. So don't tell me to calm down now. Like, I'm going to fall out at some point because you gave me all the bad kids and you didn't create a system where I can do what I need to do, which is teach them, right? In a way that's like conducive for me as a professional. And that's just what you see. You know, Black women were getting blamed for stuff. They getting overlooked for promotions all the time. People less qualified than them getting, and then they have these things. People don't know about this, but they have these things with ratings. If you work at a charter school, you get ratings, and that's how you get like that's where the money incentive is. So if you get rated like developing, like you might not get a raise, or effective, highly effective. And I'm like, who's getting highly effective in here if it's not me? Because if you're not giving me highly effective, I don't even trust this whole measurement system. So for me as an educator, I stopped caring about the metrics that they were putting on me to qualify me as a good educator because I knew I was a good educator. But at the same time, you still got to hold it down when it comes to the actual like results though. Like the teaching, you still have to be able to do it. So I think Black, I'm not gonna say I've met some dope, amazing Black teachers, and we all can relate to our students really well. We all have good relationships with them. And I can say that, you know, so I think that's something that generalizable. You kind of say we're good at building relationships with students and dealing with classroom management. We're really good at creativity in the classroom, like, and also adding to the school culture. Like the Black teachers are always the ones doing stuff for Black History Month. We gonna do this, or I was the co-captain of the club team at the high school I was at. Gladly I did that, but that's just the role that we play. We're the coach. We're the person that does the extra to make sure that we could yoke them up, keep them, you know, on this path until they get what we need them to get, and then you could go. You know, like, so I was like an auntie. I was like a mom, you know, and sometimes, you know, I was the bad person. Nobody liked me, you know, when I first started because I didn't really give a fuck kind of thing. Like, because it's like, you're not going to be rude. Like, if we're going to have an understanding. And if you violate the understanding, then we have a problem. That's how I deal with high school people. You just relate to them. You talk to them. You know, but people just make so many decisions around these young people and they don't even talk to them. And it's not fair. It's not fair to watch young people that have to do, or they have all these rules. You know, they could get suspended if they come, you know, if they shirt not tucked in. Like, for what? A shirt? Like, that's not important. That's not the most important thing. Sneakers being Black. Why does that matter? Why does what the kid got on, if it's not gonna cause no problems? All right, go ahead.
And if uniforms are made to so that you create less problems, then you make exceptions for kids who may not necessarily want to fall in line, because if the uniforms are cause of the problems and you're stuck on that, then you're doing the same exact thing that you're trying to originally avoid.
And people don't see it that way. People power trip, you know, and that's a big part of education. People power trip. People kiss ass to get promotions, and they're not good at what they do. People start hating. People get mad. I had a teacher one time. I wasn't even a full-time teacher at this time. I was a teaching artist, going to different schools. So I went to the school in the city. And the school is like closing down. So there's a lot of that politics in the air. So everybody's like salty. And I'm like, I didn't make your school shut down. So don't bring that energy over here. Like, I'm trying to help the kids. This dude tried to threaten to take a license I didn't even have because I make the kids answer questions when they come into the room.
He thought you was being too tough on them? Like, what
corporal punishment. And I'm like, y'all don't even know what that means. Y'all don't even know what that actually means. So he was like, I'm corporally punishing the students. I can't do that because they're supposed to be allowed to sit down. He said, I never said they couldn't sit down, but before they sit down, they have to do this.
How old is this teacher?
Child, the teacher don't even matter. Like the whole
Dr. N, you was borderline corporal punishment.
It was a Twilight Zone.
I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. You can't tell them they gotta answer you or they can't sit down.
No. I didn't. No. It's not that they couldn't sit down. It's just that that's what they had to do first. It's an order thing. Like,
you can't do that.
You gotta like, what's up? And
it's just. So I think what happens a lot of the times, especially
trying to report me, like what?
No. What happens a lot of times with the best educators, I think, is the system that you're in is such a meat grinder that basically you're just running in the legalese. Every turn you take, you're running in the legalese.
Well,
So
you know,
like,
they had time to be focused on the legalese when they needed to be worried about these damn books in here and why these kids can't read now.
yeah, but people don't start charters. People don't start charters. The majority of charters don't start from that energy. It's not like, oh, I want to change the world with these kids. They're like, oh, here's a flip.
No, education is the third highest paying industry in America. Okay, I don't even think people know. That was in a Future magazine, Money Inc. One of them, literally, education is like the third, and I'm just like, it's so funny because like I said, I consult, and so I'm like, I be prospecting and looking at different places, whatever, like that. But every single educational consulting company that I'm looking at is white. Every single one of them. And I'm just like, man, and it's so many things that result from that it's just outdated at this point, like to have that be the way that it is. So, but yeah, I mean,
I think sometimes corporal punishment, is necessary because it's all depending on who you're talking to, and it all depends on, what kind of, like, what I may do to a kid, what I may say to a kid, and another educator may walk in and be like, "Whoa, bro, you're bugging," but it may be exactly what those kids that I'm dealing with need in that moment, and because I'm a seasoned educator, I know how to read the room. But that doesn't.
You know how to read the room. You punch kids in their chest.
That doesn't.
They like that shit. They like the.
Yeah.
Legit. If you go
allegedly.
Slapping zebra cake champ kids' hands.
What I will admit to that if I have a high school or an adult students who feel like, and this is before my past, that didn't necessarily like they was just being super machismo and I needed to match that energy, I would give them the option to throw the gloves on, right? So that's basketball, that's boxing. You know what I mean? It's not only there's life lessons all involved, and so like sometimes you gotta throw the gloves on. Sometimes you gotta tell kids, yo, listen, you can't get to point B, till you do point A. And so I agree with you, A, but I also know that when you walk that fine line, you're in a report away from getting your check held or yourself jammed up or a letter in your file, somebody taking something out of context or
well, I think the real important pivot at this point is for us not to waste our energy focusing on a system.
Yeah.
When it's like we already know that this is
I disagree with that because that system is very lucrative. And so what I want to do is I want to go get what's mine. Because I know what I'm doing, right? And the training that you're providing it's also outdated, it's also irrelevant, and it doesn't work. So, that's what time it is as well. So that's why for me, I don't work. I'm not a teacher anymore. I don't teach anymore. Praise God, but I still work in the industry. Like I'm not gonna.
Oh, so you're full-time consultant?
No, I'm currently. Because it ebbs and flows depending on when you ask me. But I'm the program director at an organization, but I have my own consulting that I do as well. And so I do both.
Yeah, I mean, if it's bag plays, I mean, I feel like that should be understood with anything I say. Like if it's bag plays, get your bags. Like that's not even.
Well, that's true, but I also think it's
just like should I spend 40 of my minutes talking about, because it's like, is the money more important or is it my minutes? And for me, it's my minutes.
I told you when we started before I got cut off that I'm at that crossroads now where I said I'm just betting on myself, and I actually just got another job today. Actually, I got a contract for like 5 months to work on this virtual business competition.
Virtual what?
a virtual business competition.
Oh, that's fine.
Like, people, let's go. Like, making it happen.
That's fine.
It'll be a attached to corporations that are doing virtual. They're gonna give them a problem. They have to, solve it, present about it, and I'm just there to make it better and make it pop. So, I stay in this space because of this. I need y'all got the. You already know I was gonna tell you I need some kids, but I'll let you know when it's ready. We've been the superheroes, man. Like, we just do stuff. We just go out there and be like, yo, I got this. Just give me, like, put it out there, boom, great. But everybody,
I feel like it's slightly like, so all of us who are in the space doing the work, we've been in the space doing the work for quite some time, and it's like at some point we have to create our own space. I'm not saying we have to completely abandon what is. I'm just saying at some point for our mental health, we have to create our own space. Like, all of us are gonna go crazy if we stay here talking about what they doing.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it.
She's like,
No, I can't. I can't do that because my business is to know. That's part of my business. Like, I have a PhD. I can't be out here not knowing. I can't be out here not staying hip to what the trends are and what people are looking for and because that's the business. Like, a lot of what you're seeing, a lot of the reason that we can and we are making our own space right now, right? And like, we already seeing gains in what we're doing is because it was time in the span of like of the universe, everything else. It was time. Yes, sir. I'm coming. 1 second. Let me finish my point, please.
Like, nah, he's like, nah, you here to work, ma.
Yeah, like, yo, and I got the little one. So, for me, it is about mental health, but part of the mental health is also meeting your potential, and knowing that there's like a super team, like all those superhero stuff. It's such a great analogy because that's what you want, like the Avengers, Justice League. It was just everybody got their lane that they is like, that's my lane, you know what I'm saying? But then when you get together, it's like unstoppable. But it has to be the right time. It has to be the right time. Like, the Avengers didn't get together until a certain time, right? So that's the part that I see is like the timing was now with the money that's being out there now for these types of stuff. The people that want to be fake woke, but not really, but they'll still pay for it. Get them on board. Once they're on board, they convert it.
See, that's the one I'm worried of. That's the exact point I'm worried about. That one right there.
Conversion part?
Yeah, converting the ones who like halfway want it and halfway don't.
They just haven't. You have to understand it is about education. I always say that.
I'm saying for mental health. That's a dance right
but
there.
We don't but look, honestly, it's picking your poison. I pick all the poisons. All right. I'm in the candy shop picking all the poisons at different times. My basket is full. But my recharge and like my regular existence is so like chill and popping. I could afford that. But it's like, I see your point, and that's why ownership is important. So yeah, like, no, yes, there is like the private, this is what we doing, collective community. Yeah, there's that element that is present. But if to have like an ecosystem that works, you need a little bit of everything.
For sure.
Eventually, you'll run out of things that give you inspiration. If you're not on top of where they're falling short, how do you know where you could go even higher? So even if you don't want to be you don't be a part of it, but you doing the exchange of getting the currency as a consultant, as somebody who like gives them gems, coaches them, whatever way you want to do it, you can do it. But you should do it, because when you don't do it, the problem continues because you're not in that space as well. So you are needed in this. What
advice would you give? Because me, I'm finishing my little tenure and I'm out. But what advice would you give someone who's just coming into? That's what I mean. Like, for think about a young, bright, Black person who is thinking they want to change the world, and the best place they could go to do it is education. What advice would you give them coming into this space?
The advice I would give them would be to, I actually did this. I had a, hold on one second.
Yep.
Let me get the little guy so he can hear the lesson too.
Okay.
All right. What's the matter?
See my man Andre Drummond.
So, yeah. So basically, what I would tell them is you have to know what you like to do and get into education and working with young people in a space of what you enjoy. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't have to be that you're using your time to do something that feels like you just want, like you want to do it because you just want to do, like, I want to be in education, but you have a right to want to like what you do as a human. So if you like art, you could be an art therapist and you could help kids like draw their feelings out. You know, you could be a museum worker. You could work at the museum and interact with kids that way. And people just don't know that there are so many options open to them in terms of the space that they want to be in and to be in this field of education. And that's that a lot of people just don't realize. So if you are into something, if you're into music, you could be a music teacher. You could volunteer and do music lessons at a music nonprofit. Like, you have so many more avenues when you know what you like and you help the kids with what you like to do. You know, and it's a two-way exchange. You know, I work, my company is virtual right now. And, you know, it's hard. I told the tutors, I'm like, you know, I commend you. I know it's hard to be talking to black screens, you know, volunteering. It's hard. It's not something that's easy. You know, even just being remote, it's a very different approach to connecting with people, and people already have a hard time kind of doing that, like even in real life. So it's something that you just have to be mindful of, and that's why you have to lead with your passion, with your areas of interest, and then you have to be open to researching what is possible just on specific places. So education job boards, you know, EdSurge is for like digital education, like digital tech kind of stuff, you know, content writing, ed tech sales, like app, you know, educational app sales, not just sales, other things too. So that's one website. So, you know, you have to kind of know where to look for jobs. I think that's something I realized like early on in my career that a lot of people just didn't know. And I just realized that people didn't know that. Like, you don't gotta only go to like, what is it, Indeed? I don't even go on Indeed for no jobs, bro. Like, I can't. It's just not this like in my field, that's not where people go to get people. So I can't, that's not good for me to be there. So I think you just have to know that. So, but all of those things really just stem from what are you interested in, meeting kids there, and then, you know, considering the options.
Right. I like that. Take a passion approach to education.
Yeah. You have to like it. I mean, anybody, not just education, life. If you're doing something and you spend this much time doing it, for me, I could have never been an investment banker. I know I couldn't have done it. And I know a lot of my friends, that's what they did. Like, you know, when I went to school and I graduated, I'm like floating like a hippie. I don't know what's going on. They all work in these high-powered jobs, you know, and it's not for me. It's just not, that's not my spirit. That's not how I move, you know? So everybody has their own journey. And the only way you'll find out is just by exploring different things and holding to your boundaries when things change. Like being a mom, it's so different, like how I deal with work now as a mom. And I have like my mom brain like is kicking in way more now because he's getting bigger. You know, like when he was just born, it was like, oh, you just feed them and they go to sleep. So you could do a lot of stuff. I was like doing stuff. I came out with a t-shirt website the month after my son was born. I was out here just like, yo, let me just do it because I have the time, you know. But now he needs more of my attention and my time. And there's certain and he's actually the boss. Like if he wants to go outside, we go outside. Cause it's like I'm not even gonna fight with you, bro. Like, let's go. And you get the napping and we all just happier for it. So cool, we straight. The teaching aspect, like he's so curious and stuff. And so I think it's beneficial, to be honest, to be an educator and to be a parent. Like I love it because I feel like there's a lot of things that I know that like. So for example, I said I don't want to get any more toys for him that have like lights because he's not gonna appreciate having to like think about stuff if it's just like easy as pushing a button and then the entertainment comes. You know what I mean? Like for their attention.
As he bites your cell phone.
I thought
So
he.
you're right.
Oh, I didn't even see you told me that because I thought he still had the remote in his mouth.
Yo, what you think about that, Big Meech? You feel the same?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I didn't know who the news. I thought that was for Kenny. Kenny. If I had to guess,
Oh, you're not ready. You're not ready. She rocked you to sleep. Okay, so what'd you have for breakfast today, Big Meech?
Seafood salad.
Nah, for real?
Yeah, avocados, lobster, shrimp, calamari.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up.
Right? Don't ask nobody else for the breakfast check. That's the best one. He took the
That
cake.
was
Over. That sounds like a Miami meal, bro. You was on the yacht.
No. I was actually in the kitchen, but I ate it on the kitchen island.
Hey.
You know what I mean? I ate it on the, I mean, but it was good. We had it for yesterday. It was for the adults for the kid party, but it's just left over. So it ain't nothing that special. But I don't know what you was asking to the toys and the lights and all of that. But for the kids, that's Ann's wave. That's not mine. My kids can have the lights, the toys,
Everything.
whatever. Like, yo,
He has them. It's not that he doesn't have them. I just don't want more of them.
yeah, I don't want no more either. But they're probably gonna be more.
So I got these. Wait, I'm not sitting by it. I was gonna show it to you. My homegirl got me these wooden instruments. Yo, he love that shit. Got maraca. He got a whole set to just make noise. And he also has this to make noise. But yeah, it's I think the economy is just changing, so we have to think differently about how we see everything, because you don't need to be anywhere you don't need to be, and you can still be doing stuff and earning your leisure, as the people say on IG.
So, do you suggest never doing any type of consulting for free and education?
Oh no, I give away free game all the time. Like, I think people think that like people don't. This is free game. I mean, a lot of this is free game, I think, and I think people need to see when the game is coming to them, because it's like, come on, like that's a lot of information I just gave, and it's all love, and I'll give you more. Like I don't. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I think people need to understand that for premium education, you do have to pay for it.
I think what gets lost is YB. I know what you're talking about, but it's what gets lost is it's about building relationships before anything. So a lot of that game that you're giving away is in building a relationship. You see, but a lot of people think that they're giving away real valuable game when it's like, no, you're not even like. Nobody even really is worried about what you're saying yet. Like, who are you?
But it starts like that, and then it becomes Gary V.
Exactly.
Because
but the people that he's talking about, or the thinking that he's talking about, they think they're giving away free game because they get bounced around in a couple of groups and they have to do it more than once. So they're like, it hurts, you know. That's what you're talking about, right, YB?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I was just thinking about, and I was also thinking about like people that I already have relationships with, and it's like I don't even know if I could help them. And it's like, do I continue to try to, like, should I be asking for bread at this point? You know what I'm saying? Should I be?
So you
like,
you legit be wait, go walk through this. What is the conversation you're having with yourself as this is happening?
All right, so there's someone we're all cool with, and he did this thing where he started a board or whatever, and he did this thing, and he got everybody reeled in, and we've been putting in work. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, he'll come to me for advice. And I'll give him advice and he'll fumble it. And I'll give him some more advice and he'll fumble it some more. And you know, he'll have like a bunch of people mad at him, and he'll come to me for more advice, and I'm just like, this is you know, it's draining me. Like James is saying, for my mental health, it's like, bro, I don't even know if I should even be doing this. Like, I should be taking a break. Like, if I'm not getting paid, like, I don't understand why I'm even going this route. So, you know, that's just the thought process I'm going through. Like, if it's at what point, like, maybe if my mental health is getting like being a factor involved, maybe I should be asking for bread. Like, all right, this might be affecting my mental health. I'm gonna need some money for that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo, that's not funny, yo. Like, I don't even know.
and it's like, you know, I get the other part. Like, I get what James was saying, like building relationships with other people that might not know me, and you know, I get that part. That makes complete sense. But it's like, I know you. You know what I mean? Like,
Nah, actually, I also believe, like, well, I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion, but I feel like I'm the type of person, like, I like to just support people's stuff if I know them, and like get them the bread and like all that, because every community that's like thriving, that's what they do, right? Like, they just all give all of the, like, a lot of their money, not all of it, but a lot of it, to the people that look like them, that be around them, that they know how the money is being used, because it makes their life comfortable, and it's an exchange. You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So, all right.
If somebody's tapping in on your line and they asking you for your services or for your expertise, at the end of the day, like, they should, you know what I'm saying, they should already put a dollar sign on that, because they value you.
Right.
If I value you, you know what I'm saying, like, and I not only value your skills, but I value you as a person. When I tap in with you, I'm already gonna have, yo, this is what here's a little 40 cash. It ain't really nothing, but I mean, it's not what you would have been paid if you was doing this professionally. But yo, though I know you're doing it for the love, here's a little 40 cash, or here's a little $200. I need your help or whatever. But
better than nothing. People be out here on some, like, wanting to have a whole conference. Like, you made a whole event for them and everything, and they don't give you not one red cent.
But it's pocket tapping season. Everybody, if your proximity right now in my life, if your proximity is closer to me than further, your pockets are getting tapped first. Your pockets are not getting tapped. No,
like, everybody gets that.
And so, like, yo, you're not even gonna have to worry about, yo, damn, I wonder if I should have paid Ian. I wonder if I should have offered Ian some bread. Nah, you don't gotta worry about that.
Right.
Specifically, if you're close to him, like, yo, bro, here's what I need from you. And if you can't do it, fine. And depending on our relationship, that might be a kick rocks. I'll holler back, or that might be I circle back next time. But at the end of the time, the energy and that we've already put forth, and that we continue to put forth. You know what I'm saying? You owe me. Somebody owe me. You know what I mean? If you ate off the energy, the residual wave,
I'm dead. Everybody owe me.
Everybody on this call knows people who ate off the residual wave that we've allowed it to happen, because that's what you do when you're a good person. It's like, yo, damn, like, it ain't nothing, you know. But now it's pocket type of season. That's all.
Well, you know, I think there's two things going on that we gotta address. That's part of the problem. That's adding to this being an issue. The first thing is, there's too many people that just pay for ads, and then they're in front of you and they still don't know nothing.
Oh, that's a fact.
Like,
That's most people.
What is that? Okay, what is that? Number one. And then the second thing that comes in is that here you go, real deal, and you got to be dealing with the whole algorithm, the whole dealing, starting from like -5 floors down. Like, if it was a video game, you would have been at when you first press start to start the game. Like, you could have had already went. They like, no, you're gonna go and get there all over again. And I know
no. They like you gotta beat pinball first. Like, you can't even pick up the sticks. Like, you gotta beat pinball.
So man. So
yeah. So that's what I'm talking about, though. That's what I'm talking about. If it's pocket tap season, The only way that's executed properly is if we have a future focus. The only way we have a future, like basically, the only way it works is if you tell them, you got to tell them what they need to do. They're not, anything that they do on their own terms is going to be a waste of your time, and they're going to make you do the work. So you got to, the onus is on you to develop the thing before, like to have a future focus and to say, okay, you need 100 Black educators to get together to reverse engineer this new mental health crisis that's going to hit you in 2023. Like you gotta be on it.
Yeah. The amount of stuff that's going on, this is just crazy. What I remember is I didn't even finish answering your question, about the girls. So Black girls in schools are like far worse than boys. They get suspended at higher rates, and people just don't know it. So it's a real problem. They get suspended at higher rates. They get disciplined more severely with suspensions and things like that. They're not allowed to, they're seen as like, I don't know, they're always seen as like acting out and not dealing with like stuff, so it's a problem that it's like not even, it's research, but it's something you have to know is research to know that it's like an issue. That's how much it's not really like out there. But again, I think a lot of that parlays back to how Black women are in society as well. Right? Like, I think I find myself very, just blessed and highly favored, but I keep very great gentleman company. Like, I don't have men in my world that are not like respectful and protective and like, just family, like just there and in that in a really important way. And so when you see on media all the time, like, Black men just publicly kind of just like talking out their ass, it's like, dang, like, come on, like, why? But you get to be, oh, the Black man is this, the Black man is that. So it's something that's been ongoing. That whole debate and that whole kind of observation around public, the way that Black men perceive Black women publicly and vice versa, and all of that. But that's what I mean when I say it's all these circles. It's the world, then it's like where you are, then it's like where you are and what you actually care about. And these things, they just constantly collide because you're navigating in the different spaces with your own armor on. Like, your armor has your DNA on it. It's all your stuff. It's the things that are important to you, like how you roll with people, how you see women, how you treat women. And so many people, either because of their worldview of women, not even just cultural. It's not just cultural. It's the worldview of women and what the role that women have, and where they belong and what they can say. And, it has all these iterations, right? What they can learn, these are all different laws that exist around like a human.
So, Ann, why don't institutions insource when they're trying to navigate or correct some of these issues, like the suspensions for Black and brown kids? Like, when they try to find these plans, why is it that they always outsource? Like the PSAL right now is talking about possibly having basketball outdoors, right? And so that to me lets me know that whomever is at the helm of this plan, it probably is not an athlete, right? Probably didn't play ball. And
right.
So it's like we always find that the people who are at the forefront of the decision making usually have no real wherewithal about being in a classroom or how education works, or the how Black women are treated, but yet the first the initiative is somebody who's maybe not even white. I mean, not African American and not female, but it's a white 30 to 50-year-old man talking about, okay, here's what we're going to put in place for the next school year so we can somehow support Black and brown bodies. Like, why don't they ever enforce, you think?
Just a heads up, we're an hour in.
All right.
Yeah, all good. I mean, it's because it's not lucrative too.
But you don't think you save more money? Like,
I mean, I think it's lucrative. I think it's lucrative, but for them, it's not lucrative because it's an institution.
Yeah, they gotta write that. They able to write that $50,000, but like they gotta spend the budget money. So it's necessary if they insource. You know what I mean? It would be a different way on the books, but if they're able to outsource, they're able to pay $100,000 for PDs for the next 2 years. That's a lot easier on the book.
That they friends started, that they on the board of, that they, you know, you got it. That's how they move. That's the agenda is always to. If you look at politics and you look at how Republicans move, that's how they move, right? Everything is to protect the wealth conglomerate at all fucking costs. Everything. To the point that they don't even care that people that paying attention could see that, but people see it and people are still not angry enough. So, you know, I believe in sourcing, and I think, and there are people that typically rise up the ranks. Like, you know, there's people that's been teachers and then they become, but I find that, and they become principals, but I find sometimes too, a lot of teachers don't want to become principals. The old school, some of them is like, no, I don't want that. I'm good with this right here, and this is what I want to do. I think it's more the younger ones, the young bloods, that we more hungry because we know what we're doing, and we holding it down and making the shit run smooth anyway. Like, we the ones operating the real shit.
So what you think about Dr. Perry and his the Capital Prep program, his charter program, you know, him being a person of color, you know, and aligning himself with Puffy. Puffy has his school. Do you think that with them two being at the helm, they're more on the pulse of, you know, really educating and empowering you know, minorities that are going to their buildings?
You know, they just doing a job. Like, I just don't never put all of my hopes and my high esteems in people in these high positions. These high positions are supremely and largely political.
Yo,
right?
Puff boy, bad boy. He gotta translate to having a running a hit maker school or something. You know what I'm saying?
Puff been living in Cali and LA for the last 1,000 years. He don't know nothing that's going on in Harlem.
You say he didn't even pull up to the prep in a minute?
When's Puff don't live in Harlem?
Asking questions.
Puff don't live in the Bronx.
Puff is a hit maker, so that I'm pretty sure that could translate to making a school top of the charts.
You gotta realize when Bad Boy was popping, that was 1 trillion years ago. These kids don't know nothing about Bad Boy. Go ask one of your high school kids when they come back to name 5 Diddy songs.
They can't. They like,
what you talking
but
about?
I'm just saying his uncanny hit making ability. Some of it has to translate in a school space, and if he's running Bad Boy, like
I think it does. I think it does, but look, I think it could. I don't know if it does. I don't know if it does from what I know, and from what I know, like, or like best practices and like what works and like what makes the most sense, right? So I don't know.
The music program got to be rocking there, bare minimum.
Right? I don't think he knows. I don't think look. Diddy is the type. Diddy is treating the school like Ciroc. Okay, he just got his hand.
No, not like Ciroc. You gotta be 21 and older.
He got his friends to come for the photo shoot. No, look, let me tell you how it works. He got his friends to come show up for the photo shoot. Okay, so they can raise the money for the school now. So he bringing all his rich friends, like he do for Ciroc, to take pictures and look good and be around when they need to shake them down for some money. And he shows up once in a blue moon, and that's it. Like, that's it. You know he has one, but it's like, well, what's happening at that school? We don't know. Like, we could look it up. I mean, I'm not.
So you think if you had to compare who was running, who had more of a interaction in the school that they're part of, Puffy or LeBron, you would say Bron?
Absolutely.
I would have to say LeBron.
Not even close.
I did some research on the Carter Foundation. We were supposed to do some work with them, A5, Hove joint.
Yeah.
When I went to the website, I was like, oh, no, it's a Ponzi scheme.
I'm sure.
Yo, it was quiet.
Now, I be trying to get in contact. Like, I remember when Reform first came out, I tried to tap in to try to find a contact information. Like, it was like navigating the, like, I was like, yo, it was a drop down menu to another drop down menu.
You was in Alice in Wonderland. They have to go down that rabbit hole. Like, nah, you ain't never gonna get it.
Like, if you're not supposed to see our work, you're not supposed to be able to get in contact with us.
Yo, call
Right.
a number, just bang on you.
This is just a front shop. This ain't for this. This ain't open to no customers. Like,
Yeah, words. It's just like we like Batman. Just be happy when we around. Just be happy when we around, and we not mind your business.
like, right?
Yo, I'm not. Yo, you think I swear? Yo, you think I'm lying? It said like it was a $25,000 scholarship, and it was like this is years and years ago, and I'm like, this been going on for years. This $25,000, like you don't got no like scholarship recipients, no like. Where the pictures?
Listen, when you listen, everybody. Let me say something. I don't never follow or be pressed to be seeing what these celebrities is doing. I was talking to my man. I was just like, how did certain things become a thing? Because it wasn't a thing before that. Like, since when was having gender reveals a thing? Like, I thought you was having a baby and the baby shower, and you know it, or you tell people, or you don't tell people. Like, I didn't know it was like we're gonna have a party where we're gonna get like something that explodes with powder and throw it. Like, just I don't understand. Like, when did that become when did that happen? Like, when? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how things take place, and you're just like, when did that have to be something that
the gender reveal thing? That was IG, right? That was IG.
That was some people watching people do stuff and wanted to do stuff, because I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand either. And I had one of them joints, and I still don't understand. Charge to the game, yo. Charge it to the game.
I don't.
It's the same thing. People want to be seen. People want to be seen, and when they want to share their lives. The same people who do gender reveals. Sometimes probably the same people who give out cheeseburgers and film themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same kind of thing. You know, having a kid isn't not just good enough. I gotta share everything with the world. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm sharing? Here's what I'll share. One, y'all saw my son. A lot of people don't see my son, so because I just don't.
That's good. And I know the one thing I know I don't got to worry about you is catching you in a mall with a striking a pose with your little 2-year-old taking a picture. I'll be like, that's not what's up, yo. He
got no time.
Yeah, he ain't touched down to be your photographer. Put that little man in the picture. Why you taking your? That's not how it's supposed to be.
I just don't even have, like, honestly, I be looking at some of the content on social now, and I be like, yo,
Niggas be turning their kid into Peter Parker, yo.
I just don't have the commitment.
It's because we should have been. Yo, look how long it's been. We've been on social media. There ain't been a black social media.
No, Kev on Stage got one. There's a bunch of them now. Well, not a bunch. There's like 3 of them. Kev on Stage has one.
Nah, man. I need come on, man. Come on. Kev
Black
on Stage.
Planet, they bring Black Planet back. You heard?
I need a legit. Come on, man.
See, you ain't right. You asked for it.
No, I'm just saying I need a legit.
You ain't going though. See, you want to be seen too. You see?
Nah, I'm just saying I want a legit, like, it can't be hard to make an Instagram, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
when they do the thing with the words and stuff, that thing is hard. It takes a while. Like, I
know it's hard. I'm just saying I can't believe that it's been so many social media iterations. There's been so many things.
Oh, right? I know.
And like, there hasn't just been one for like people who just want to, like.
They coming out with the VR glass, when them VR stuff. So, that's coming up at some point.
It's crazy. I honestly, sometimes I'm just embarrassed to be black, man.
Why?
We pretty slow. Like, what our ancestors did, what my grandparents did, they put in work.
Well, I don't think, you know what it is? I don't think we're all slow. Thank God. So
yeah, but we're kind of, as a group, we're kind of we don't even have we kind of getting tossed around here.
I mean, but look, ultimately,
3 of the UFC champions are all from Africa.
The what?
That's a random fact.
UFC champions?
Yes.
Oh, dope. Oh yeah, I think I see. Aren't they all Nigerian?
Yeah, I can't tell you all of that. I just know there's three brothers out there that, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's
Knock
up.
somebody out, don't even know you, might not even know.
Yeah, I don't think you could say that. I don't think you should say you're embarrassed. I mean, that's how you feel. I can't tell you how to feel now, but I think ultimately we look at information. Something that I realized, if you want to grow, if you want to be like successful in your life, you cannot be above correction. You can't. If you are above, the Bible talk about that too. Like if you don't like listen when people is talking to you or like about you or like kind of like, you can't be above reproach, you know, because that's when it's like a stalemate at this point. If you think you like, you know, God's gift to the world, and you don't see when you're wrong, and you don't, you know, you don't seek to, or you don't even seek to like just evolve and change or like figure out ways you could be better, you're at a disadvantage.
Word, Glory. You heard that?
Don't do that.
You just added disadvantage. So okay. So, you know, yeah, I think, you know, Black people is just tiring. I think that's they're exhausting. I think that's the word I'll use. It's exhausting. Like I seen a post. So this person put on their post, right? They wrote, when I stopped following like Kim Kardashian, Cardi B, and somebody else, and started following, and then they dropped like three pages, like my finances changed, like forever, basically. And then people was legit in the comments talking about we don't gotta put down hardworking women with platforms. I'm like, what? Oh, we don't like just where people like go with information that is not meant to like, it's not that serious, yo. Like the boy was just giving the information. This dude replied back to me, right? And then people just be, and you know, when I have the time, like I might drop a comment, be like, let me choose comedy today, right? So I comment to this dude, and the dude replies back and was like, oh, who's learning everything off of a post? And in my mind, I was like, yo, the fact that you could say that and you not learning from a post means you should not be teaching nobody shit. And I know you probably trying to teach somebody some shit. And because you said that, you fake, you ain't qualified for that. Like how do you say that? And because they don't, literally, that's the issue. People, but IG University is an IG University. I'm not gonna lie. Like, right? There's a lot of people just out there like selling you shit, and you're like, no, like I'm good, you know. But at the same time, if you pay attention to the right information, one, you'll be rewarded with more information because that's how the algorithm works, and you'll also be able to change. You'll be able to reconsider your options. Like I literally just opened what is it? A UTMA account, Universal Transfer Minority Act. So it's a law. It's a law that allows you to have an account, and in this account you could put cash, stocks, real estate. You could put everything in it for the child, and you only get taxed at the child rate when you put it in there. And banks do it. Like banks just do it. If you Google UTMA account right now, you want to open one, because basically, if you open it, it's UTMA. And I learned that from Instagram. I think it was Earn Your Leisure, and I was watching the thing, and then that's all the information they gave. So IG University will teach you something if you are willing to go and take the information and look up something else. If you do it how they tell you, you ain't winning, bro. Like don't go get an LLC, son. Like don't just go do an LLC right now. Like don't do it and put your card on. Don't get fucked up. Like don't do that. But learn about what do I spend a lot on that I could buy. That's part of what I do for a living, right? Like it makes you think very differently. Like I want to get Lucas a vending machine, right? Because that's passive income. And if you know people like Ian, this would be a great thing for you to do, because you know mad people you just go be like, yo, let me put a vending machine here, and you just fill it with whatever you want. So, you know, there's opportunities out there that I'm thankful that if I wasn't following the right people, I wouldn't know about them. But that's how much information could change your life. That's why my brand is making education and intelligence stylishly cool. Because it's cool to know shit. It's cool. It don't let nobody tell you it ain't cool to be the plug, to know about mad random shit. That shit comes in handy. Trust me. It comes in handy.
I think that's very rare, and I think why James feels embarrassed is because a lot of folks aren't putting in that work to look up those things on social media, and they rather look up who fought who and who's what and doing what and whatever, and people and that's like the thing that's trending, and so a lot of these young folks do whatever it takes because they want to be famous, but they don't understand that these famous people on Instagram aren't actually rich,
right?
Or actually have monies, but they think if I do these things, it will make me rich and have money, which isn't the case all the time. So a lot of people actually end up rapping or trying to do something, you know.
I feel you.
Just a heads up, 115. Get your jewels polished.
So now, so stuff like that is like it's a game changer because I know. I mean, and I'll be honest, like I went to a lot of schools, so I could do that. Like I have to be honest about that. Like everybody can't just find information very easily. Like it's not something that like everybody knows how to do. So I don't want to make it seem like it's like, oh yeah, just go, you know. But if you do follow like one or two, but my issue is people get so damn offended, and they gotta say something, Like if you didn't agree, just keep it pushing, yo. Like you don't gotta come in here and like people just got too much time on their hands for the wrong shit. Because I don't understand that.
Yo, what are we crying about here?
He don't want to sleep.
You getting bounced around. You got the remote.
Everything.
What happened to the remote? The remote was
it's right here. He didn't want it. He put it down.
Okay.
Then he wants to. He just do what he wants.
Oh yeah. What's up, man?
Lucas, say hi.
Lucas.
He's like, which square? Just call me.
Hi, Lucas.
Say hi, Papa.
Hi.
Yeah.
She's smiling. What's up, Lucas? Hi, Lucas. I feel you, my G. He was like, yo, that's all I wanted. See you on the block.
Zoom like.
What up? All right, now y'all can continue.
Right, exactly. But
Lucas, what you think? What you think about the state of education, man? I feel you. It's one of those things, man. You gotta, you know.
Yeah, just not sure.
Is he in any programs yet?
No, with COVID, I'm right here. Okay. But
yeah,
don't
even mind that question.
Yeah, he'll be one in a few weeks. He'll be one. So yeah, no, I mean, I think.
Wait, hold on, time out. How old is he?
He's 11. Wait, what is it? Is it the 2016 yet? Yeah, he's 11 months.
Am I tripping? He look bigger than you.
Yeah, that's a big kid.
You know,
no, Lucas, you don't gotta cry. Lucas, you don't gotta cry.
When he was born, he's short. He's a shorty. He's a shorty pie, this guy.
Oh, okay. He looked huge.
He was 3 pounds when he was born.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm thoroughly confused.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know how much a baby.
No, it's like twice. It's way more than that. Like,
I think that I don't know. I feel like I talked to the doctor. The doctor's like, he's good for his age. I was like, okay, because I was worried because he was born so little. So I was just like,
that's tiny.
You know, like, oh my goodness, But she was like, no, like he's big. And I was like, all right. You see other babies and you be like, that baby's big. So it's like there's no.
Get what you get.
They do what they want. Some like the woman. There was a woman who had her son the day after Lucas was born. She was my roommate, and her son is like already like walking and stuff, like holding on to stuff and walking. Lucas meanwhile is chilling. He'll move in his walker and stuff, but he could like try to stand, but he can't, like it's not firm. So, but it's like it doesn't matter. Like with kids, they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I know.
It's a I be tired. I be like, yo, like literally, I'm not gonna front. I literally in the past few weeks, I was like, I see why people become housewives, and I never said that a day in my life before. But
I saw that early.
Hello.
All right, we at 1 hour and 20, so let's wrap it up for the folks. Any last gems, Lucas? What you got?
What you got, Papa? What's up?
What's your last words, Lucas? What's up? What up?
All right. Good. No, you won't.
Boog's not here. He haven't thrown up gang signs.
Right.
Perfect.
But James, you got to give me more feedback about this. Or at least you got to do like a survey or something, so I can have it written down on your curriculum and everything. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was dope.
Yeah, for sure. Right now I'm just finishing out because I had to do the contract I'm just doing contracts basically. So,
that's dope.
Yeah, it's amazing. I never thought I'd really be saying that. It just feels weird coming out of my mouth.
You gotta expand it. It's the age of abundance. That's what time we're in right now.
Yeah, I never really thought it through, but now that I'm in the middle of it, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Like if you're gonna do something, you're going to get a contract, and then you're going to have to decide whether it fits. Like that contract, like you're really shaping your future. So I was like, man, I knew, but I didn't know. So now that I'm doing it, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I'm like actually shaping my future.
I think, but again, it all comes from doing what you feel good about doing. If you didn't feel good about writing, you wouldn't be in a position to have no contract, right?
Oh yeah, I'm not even. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the thing. It's like that is the reward, and that is the ultimate result. If you really about what you love to do, and you stay on it, and you work in it, you will definitely be financially rewarded. It just takes some people from others, and also it's a mindset thing. Like you had to know.
I stopped worrying about the money a long time ago. I'm really thinking about like mental health and like setting good measures for people to actually execute on.
Yeah, approach it.
Like I don't want to sell people, like I look at rappers and athletes and I'm like, I could have easily done that if I decided to put my energy into that, but that's not, I always knew that wasn't me because I didn't want to sell you that. I think like you had to be out here tapped into. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be serious. That's what I was always on. So, anyways, that's my jump.
Yeah.
Thank you for the alley.
Yo, let's get it.
You know what I mean?
Why not?
What you got, YB?
I don't really got any gems today.
Okay.
I wanted to say earlier, it was a while ago when you was talking a while ago, that Black women are the most educated in America. Just have to put that out there.
Give me what you. I'm with you. I just want to know exactly what you mean.
I mean, that's what I looked it up. I looked up who was the most educated. So it's crazy that they was the most educated, but somehow, get the short end of the stick. So that was just crazy to me.
Yeah. I'm mind blown. That's nasty.
Yeah, they get the short end of the stick, but they're the most educated. It doesn't make any sense.
Yep. Every way too.
Mm-hmm.
So
what you got, Glory? Hey, take it easy on Diddy, man. He be
Man, listen.
They don't know who Diddy is. You're right though.
I gotta keep it a stack. I'm telling you, when school comes to come back, go ask your kids to name you 5 Diddy songs. They can't do it. So keep it back. Nobody know Diddy no more. When the last hit Diddy had?
For real though.
I'll wait.
I don't know.
Right, exactly.
when he slapped Drake.
Diddy not on 25th and Lennox no more. I mean, he ain't strolling down 25th anymore. I mean, he might come to 25th to shoot a video. You know what I mean? Then he out of there. He shoot his video for the school, then he go.
It's the
I
photo
mean,
op.
he tell French and all them to come up, give away some hoodies, have the Ciroc party, and he out of there. Shout out to Diddy though.
Shout out to Diddy.
If they need programming, they should come holler at us because we can probably shift their whole situation up. I don't got no gyms. It's the end of Q1, so I mean that quarter's down. So you take some time to reflect on what went wrong, what went right. Get back on the grind. Q2 right around the corner. Show some love to people that show love to you. I mean, even the ones who don't show love, show them some love too, because they got some hate in their heart. Maybe you show them a little love. Maybe that'll fix it for them. Maybe not, but I mean, you just gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? And that's Glory's gym for the day. You heard?
Yo, that was valid.
You know what I mean?
That was perfect.
You know what I mean?
Q1 wrapped up. Put a bow on it. Get your mind right for Q2. I like that.
Eat some fruit. I mean, eat some fruit.
Buy some stocks. It's a lot of sales out here. You heard?
Get your pockets right. You know what I mean? Get your pockets right, because then we're gonna come tap your pockets after you get them right. Pocket packing season. Don't forget that.
And don't support this. Man, it's too aggressive.
I love it. That's it.
All right, that's a wrap. I appreciate y'all energy. I know today was a rough day, but we here. I think Glory, you said it best, man. Q2, make it a good one.
Facts, love.
Bless.
One love.
I'll let y'all.
All right. Ciao. All right, Lucas.